Good evening. This is Dominic with TheBackVlog. About a week or two ago, I finished season 2 and season 3 of Higurashi When They Cry. I'm going to lump them both into this one video because I don't really have many things to say about the third season. These are referred to as Kai and Rei, respectively. So the second season is divided into 3 arcs. I don't remember the first arc very well. It's kind of like a preliminary thing setting up what's gonna happen in the next 2 arcs. I really don't remember what happens in that first arc, which is the Disaster Awakening arc. But the Mass Slaughter chapter is really interesting because more and more questions are being answered, but at the same time, there are more mysteries happening. It's revealed that Rika has been stuck in a time loop for over 100 years now. And at this point, she's just kind of like completely depressed is probably the best way I can put it. She doesn't feel like she wants to do anything anymore, and her view of the world is like just through amusement at this point, just to see how everything can go to shit in this iteration of reality. But in this iteration of reality, things are starting to happen that changes the fate of the characters. I'm trying to remember exact details because it's been a while now. You know, so Rika now finds herself in this new world, and slowly things are just kind of happening that are different from what she's used to, and it's even if it's like the smallest difference, it means everything, because out of the hundreds of years worth of time of like these 2 weeks, which mathematically I don't even want to do that. That's a long time I can't even comprehend what that feels like. That is an existential nightmare, knowing that even when you die you'll just come back. But yeah, these tiny things start to happen that kind of like give her hope, and it's insane. And eventually she gets her whole group of friends in on everything that's going on, and this kind of like turns into Persona a little bit, where you know, all the characters are challenging fate, and they're really starting to come into their own. Like they're realizing who they are as people. And Robin is covering it. And of course, the hype factor. It gets real hype. One thing that I find really interesting, having read the first visual novel, is the kind of like the small details that don't really make sense in the anime, because they don't really touch upon it in the anime, but it's kind of an extra detail that's from the visual novel itself, and it just kind of makes it more fucked up. It's the one part that I'm remembering specifically at the end of the Mass Slaughter chapter, whenever, you know, all the kids' plans get foiled, and spoiler alert for this, but you've probably seen this if you're watching this, when, you know, Takano basically has like a Negan from The Walking Dead thing going on, where he's got like, where she has all of them and she's basically like killing them off one by one. Satoko, I think her name is. I think she's like the last one alive, and Takano is like, if you can get this question right, you get to live. And she asks her, which is green, broccoli or cauliflower, which, you know, Satoko, being her age, doesn't really know these things. And in the visual novel, Keiichi says that exact same question to basically quiz her, and with the full knowledge that she doesn't know the answer. And you know, the way that scene plays out is horrifying, and really, really well done as a callback. And then we get to, what is it? The festival orchestrating chapter, which is incredible. It's so good. It started off slow, I think, because, like, you know, you get the reveal of who the main villain has been this entire time. And at the beginning, we kind of follow her, which is not the worst. But I like coming off of like that, like a high-speed train, we kind of like slowed down a little bit. I lost my train of thought. I don't really have much else to, I mean, I do have a lot to say, I think, but I really don't remember, because there's also the third season I need to talk about, and the third season kind of like doesn't really belong here. It's a really short, like 5-season episode, and this middle arc, I don't remember if there's a name for it, but the middle arc has like a really intriguing idea where the next world that Rika is reincarnated into is kind of like the perfect world, and it's kind of like up in the air whether or not that whole thing was a dream anyway, and if it was, that was kind of useless, but you have like this interesting philosophical arc of like, should I stay here because there's no reason for me to basically leave, because none of the events that even cause her to be stuck in the time loop happen to begin with. So does she stay, or does she go back to the world that she came from, because the world that she came from is real, and you know, she struggled to get that and earn that reality for herself. So it's like this really interesting question that it asks, but it's kind of bookended by these 2 episodes that feel like really bad fan fiction, and like they're amusing, but like the fan service in it, considering the fact that these characters are children, is incredibly problematic and uncomfortable. And I think that's why I'm having such a hard time like remembering season 2, because I'm also kind of like I'm kind of like mixing the events of season 2 and season 3 into one. I feel like if you're gonna watch Higurashi When They Cry, you can honestly skip Rei, which is the 3rd season. And I know Rei has its own visual novel in on Steam. I don't really know much about that. I'm sure it's probably the same thing, but the 3rd season is kind of mostly a waste of time. With that being said, even if the 3rd season is not my favorite thing ever, season 1 and 2 of Higurashi When They Cry are incredible. You know, you have the brutality of the 1st season and the psychological horror aspect of it. But in the 2nd season, it kind of like turns into a straight up like, I mean, it's a murder mystery. Like the show is a murder mystery, but the mystery elements are kind of like ramped up a little bit, or a lot, in the 2nd season. It's a lot less horror, and it's a lot more suspense thriller, which is really unexpected. But yeah, this show is incredible. I will be reading the rest of the visual novels at some point in the future, and I definitely will see this show again. I think I'm going to be thinking about this one for a little while. But yeah, it's really good.